Decision making and negotiating for procurement and supply chain professionals. Practical skills for managing risk, value, and supplier relationships. Procurement and supply chain professionals operate in environments marked by uncertainty and volatility, high financial and operational impact, regulatory audit and reputational scrutiny, and long-term supplier dependencies. Decision-making and negotiating are core professional capabilities, not soft skills. Decision-making in procurement is about choosing among imperfect options, managing trade-offs such as cost, risk, quality, ESG, continuity, etc., acting under time pressure and incomplete information, making decisions that are defensible. A robust process will yield better outcomes even when data is uncertain. Common decision-making challenges: information overload, anchoring on price alone, not following a structured process, inconsistent decisions across categories or teams, difficulty defending and justifying decisions, illusions of infallibility, and most important, ignoring linkage effects. Negotiating is not just about price. It includes contract terms and conditions, risk allocation and liability, service levels and flexibility, volume commitments and forecasting, relationship management over time. Most procurement negotiations are repeat interactions, not one-off deals. Power asymmetry adds another level of complexity to the procurement process. Power asymmetry exists when one party has significantly more leverage than the other in a negotiation. This imbalance shapes strategy, behavior, and outcomes. Ignoring power asymmetry leads to poor decisions and fragile agreements. Power differences commonly arise from market structure, that is, sole source versus competitive markets, dependency and switching costs, information advantages, time pressure and urgency, scale and purchasing volume, regulatory or contractual constraints. Examples of power asymmetry in procurement: sole source or single region suppliers, critical components during shortages, large buyers versus small suppliers, long qualification or tooling lead times, suppliers with unique IP or capabilities. In these cases, leverage is rarely symmetrical. Power asymmetry directly affects negotiating style, whether it's competitive or collaborative, risk exposure, contract durability, supplier behavior and incentives, long-term supply chain resilience, etc. Skilled professionals do not eliminate power asymmetry. They manage it by strengthening alternatives such as BATNA, trading non-price variables, using structured preparation, separating relationship value from leverage, making decisions deliberately, not reactively. What is ESG? It is a framework used to evaluate how responsibly and sustainably organizations operate. These are increasingly embedded in procurement decisions, supplier selection, and contracts. Now, environmental considerations include energy use and carbon footprint, waste disposal and recycling, water usage, sustainable sourcing, etc. And what is the procurement role? Selecting suppliers that reduce environmental risk and support sustainability goals. Social considerations include labor practices and human rights, health and safety standards, diversity and inclusion, community impact, etc. Procurement role: avoiding suppliers that create legal, ethical, and reputational risks. Governance considerations include ethical conduct and transparency, anti-corruption controls, compliance and audit readiness, accountability, oversight, etc. Procurement role: ensuring decisions and supplier relationships withstand scrutiny. ESG introduces an additional criteria beyond price: complex trade-offs, stakeholder expectations, long-term risk considerations, etc. This increases the need for a structured analytical decision-making process, linking decision-making, negotiating, and ESG. Effective procurement requires clear decision frameworks, thoughtful negotiating strategies, awareness of power asymmetry, integration of ESG requirements. These capabilities reinforce each other. In this training, participants learn to make clear, defensible decisions, reduce bias and inconsistency, prepare and negotiate more effectively, manage power imbalances, and achieve better commercial and risk outcomes. Key takeaways. Procurement excellence is not just process-driven. It depends on how well professionals decide and negotiate under real-world constraints.
For over 20 years, I have been offering in-person and virtual training on analytical decision-making and negotiating. Our training is based on the 3 M's: the message, the messenger, and the method. Thank you.